Okay.
Yo, thank you so much for coming, bro.
What up?
Jay
I'm
from
out in
Mindforce.
Queens.
What up, what up, what up?
Feels good to be in Queens. Some of my
Sick.
favorite bands are from Queens. I
Sick.
love it here.
Yo,
Word,
thank you for
man.
coming out, man. Can't wait to have this talk.
Yeah, so I was just going to ask you how you been during all this COVID stuff.
I mean, I feel bad saying this because I know a lot of people are going through a lot of hard times, but I've been really good, man.
Yeah.
You know, I have a nice spot in the Hudson Valley, you know, about 30 minutes north of Poughkeepsie.
Word.
Yeah, in the woods. I'm just kind of off the grid, you know, so I don't see a lot of people and shit.
Sick.
And you know, I had one little rough month when my dog passed away, Rip Lucille. But you know, I got a new puppy, and shit is great.
Things keep going.
Yeah.
That's what's up,
So
bro.
I'm making a lot of music. Just
So you're staying positive, you're doing your shit.
yeah, and you know, also I'm cherishing the time with my family. You know, I'm a father and a husband, and I love being around them. And like I said, I got a lot of room out there, so you know, it's not like we're confined to
That's
a small
awesome,
area.
So how's you got like a house with a backyard and like all that?
Yeah, I got 3 acres. I
That
moved.
sounds
I moved. Yeah, it's what I always wanted. I moved out of Poughkeepsie. Like, my wife will check me, but I think we bought our house in 2015. And yo, I never thought I would own a fucking house, yo. Like, it's crazy, and I wanted it to be away from everything.
Word.
You know, because of my job and I'm just, you know, I'm out in the community amongst people a lot, and
It's good to take a break.
Yeah, you need that
I
balance.
like to shut it down, you know.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
I love the fucking Hudson Valley, man. I even, like, when I have time on the weekends, I take my motorcycle up there. I just go ride by,
hell
like,
yeah.
their mountain. I go hiking by Cold Spring over there in the mountains. Yo, I love it.
Dude.
Fucking
I love it
that
out
place,
there.
dude.
Everybody should move there. I mean, you got the best of everything out there.
Exactly.
You know, I think people think it's further away from here than it is, and
How long is the drive?
well, it depends where you're going. Here it took me like an hour and a half, hour and 20
It's
minutes.
not bad.
Yeah.
No, and you know, you just make a jump and boom, you're upstate.
Word.
It's
You don't even need a
nice.
car. You could take the Metro North right on
Yeah,
the river.
yeah.
You know.
You too.
I got a lot of homies who live in Beacon and just work up here and take the city. Oh, shit, who's
That's
calling?
good, yo.
Oh,
You
shit,
have
my
like a
Uncle
nice
Randy's
little
calling.
spot because with all this insanity going down, you got COVID, police brutality, all like the race riots and everything that's going down. You got like some peace of mind in your zone. It's like your little temple. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. But you know, also not trying to shut myself off from it
100%,
completely.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard. Like for me, living here. You know, you're in like an apartment. You just like you go there to the train. There's mad people. You walk down the street. There's mad people. It's mad people 24/7. So.
Yo, man, I that's why I'm not really a city guy. You know what I mean? Down here, it's a new game though, because even when you're in Poughkeepsie, you know what I mean. Even if you're chilling out there in the projects and shit or whatever, it's not as sardinious here, for lack of a better word. You know what I mean? You're really on top of each other.
I say that all the time. Sardines. Bro. That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
it. We're sardines.
Even the cities there, like Poughkeepsie, you know, you could be on Main Street and like drive 5 minutes and you see a fucking farm. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah,
It's almost like it's not natural to have this many people living on top of each other.
I don't know. Man, been living so long, I can't even tell you what's natural and what isn't.
And the thing is, they want people. I heard nowadays they want them moving towards cities because they want to control them easier, like in a more congested area. You know, they don't want people living, like you said, in the cut off the grid because it's harder to maintain and monitor. You know, these people.
Well, we're seeing a lot of people come up there now with this, all the COVID shit.
Bro, they're saying it's hard to even like get a little cabin or upstate nowadays. Everything's sold out because they're leaving the cities. You know.
Yeah.
Definitely shows you the flaws. Like it exposes some of the flaws of living in a super like urban environment where there's the cameras, there's the people, there's the security, there's a lot of regulation on everything you do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot of fucked up shit out there too, though,
That's
man.
true,
I
yeah.
mean, you know, I don't know. It's, you know, every place has its positives and negatives.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the city I'm most familiar with in the Hudson Valley is Poughkeepsie.
Mhm.
That's where I spent most of my time, and you know, it's a beautiful place, but it's also a fucked up place, man. You know what I mean? So
I've never been to Poughkeepsie.
No. You ever been to any cities in the Newburgh or New Rochelle?
I don't think so. How is it? It's like an actual city.
Oh yeah, Newburgh's fucked up, man.
Okay.
Really?
It's a fun. I mean, it can be a fun place, but it could be a not so fun place. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You know, anybody who's not familiar with it out there. I mean, I'm not gonna throw out a lot of statistics, but Google it. You know, it's an interesting place for sure.
And that's where is that where you grew up?
Oh no, I grew up outside of Poughkeepsie in a hick ass town, middle of nowhere. Maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes outside of Poughkeepsie.
Okay.
And you know, actually, I mean, I spent the first part of my young childhood in Pleasantville. You know where that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And at an early age, my brother died, and you know, my parents just wanted to get away from everything. You know, it was kind of fucked up, and they moved as far away as they could to this hick ass town called Dover Plains, New York. You know, but yeah, that's how I ended up there. And then I moved to Poughkeepsie when I was like a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And in terms of your job, you were saying with your job and stuff, you're a teacher, right?
Yeah, I'm a public school teacher. I
Sick.
work in inner city school.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm not gonna say the district I work in,
course.
but you know, it's somewhere where I'm from. You know.
Yeah.
So I love teaching in the Power Kingdom because I'm from there, and you know, I really take to heart. You know, try to live righteous and try to show the kids, and help them learn from mistakes I've made in life. You know,
of course.
I mean, there are a lot of people who, from a certain time in my life, if they knew I was a teacher now, they wouldn't believe me. But yeah, I love where I'm at in life. You know,
amazing.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, I love.
How'd you get into teaching? Did you always know you wanted to do that, or it was
no?
Kind of like
I kind of ran from it. So check it out. My father's a teacher.
Okay.
My father's a history teacher and wrestling coach and a history teacher. He kind of got into teaching. He always liked education, but he's so into wrestling and wanted to coach and got a job coaching and ended up becoming a teacher too. Kind of like a little reverse.
Okay.
Some people become a teacher and then a coach.
Yeah.
So like I was always around. You know, my father had a certain way he would talk to me, like kind of as a teacher, whether he was teaching me, you know, whatever it was, wrestling or whatever. And I guess I kind of always had a knack from it, but no, I ran from it. I didn't like, I guess I didn't want to hear, oh, you're like your dad kind of stuff. And it wasn't until my late 20s when I wanted to kind of settle my life down a little. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a teacher. And I was lucky enough to get a assistant teaching job at a private school. And the good friend of mine who I worked with there told me, you know, you should really become a teacher. And, you know, I was living kind of wild at the time, so it was kind of a crazy idea. Yeah. But, you know, I went back to school at nights, and I'm where I'm at now, and I love where I'm at now. So, you know?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
When you teach the kids, do you think you use like some like unorthodox methods, like maybe telling them about like your past or like things about life that like other teachers usually don't? Or what would you say about that?
I mean, I know what you mean, unorthodox, and maybe I wouldn't use that to describe myself, but maybe in the fact that I'm just completely myself and honest with the kids.
Exactly.
Maybe in that way it's unorthodox, because one of the reasons I wanted to become a teacher is because of how much I hated all my teachers. Yeah. I hated, like, I'm not kidding. Like, I tell my father this, he can't believe it. Like, he had a much different experience than me in school. Like, I literally I can only remember one teacher in all of grades, like, only one teacher I fucked with. Only one. But he fucking changed my life, you know what I mean? So that made me
want to do that to your kids.
Yeah.
How's it been with the whole COVID thing with the teaching and like the schools got shut down?
Well, you know, I mean, kind of fucked up, man. I have to be honest, you know. I mean, you know, most of the kids I teach all live around the different projects in Poughkeepsie, and you know, I was kind of like having to check in with them over the computer, and you know, a lot of them just went off the grid, man.
Of course,
really?
Which I didn't hold, which I would have done the same thing. I kind of went off the grid. You know what I mean? What up, homie?
What up? Goodbye.
And it just felt like, it just didn't feel like teaching. It didn't feel like learning, blah, 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 you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because so this dude we had on the podcast, Nov York, he's like a legendary graph writer.
Yeah.
He's a teacher now.
No shit.
And he started off teaching in prisons, if I'm not mistaken. It was prisons, right?
That's what Nick from Mindforce does. He's in prisons right now.
Yeah.
That's what's
he
up.
loves it. Yeah.
That's awesome, bro.
Yes.
And he kind of has like the thought process of, like, I read his book and he's talking about why he became a teacher, and it was pretty much, I think that the system he was teaching in, he gets more of like a control of exactly what he wants to teach them. I don't know if he had to follow a curriculum.
Yeah, no, I got New York State driving my boat.
So he's showing them about like a bunch of stuff that would not be covered in regular class, and more so he's like trying to like open their minds and stuff like that.
Absolutely,
you can see
man.
he's super passionate about it.
Hell yeah, I try to do the same thing as much as I can.
That's what I meant though. Even though you have a curriculum, maybe like you hit me in there like little like information that they can use in the world. You know.
Yo,
what I mean?
totally. And
Exactly.
and I try to do that as much as I can. But yo, at the same time, you know, New York State decides the bullshit they put on the test, and it is bullshit. But you know, these kids aren't learning it because they're gonna believe it. They're learning it so they could get that choice right on the test, and then get the fuck out of Poughkeepsie,
of course,
and maybe come back and change the test and change the world. So, you know, I'm trying to get them out of Poughkeepsie, and I'm trying to, you know, shape something for the future.
You can give back.
Yeah.
Give back to the youth, give back to the community.
Yeah, children are our future. Shout out to Whitney Houston. I just sampled her in POI. Peace.
100%. Yo, if more people did that, if each person tried to give back, everyone's just living for themselves a lot. Like me, take. I buy this, I buy that. I love it when I see people who are, you know, of course, everyone, you got to live for yourself too, but also you're giving back, playing your part in a way. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, man, you got to walk, not just talk, you know. I mean, everybody posting stuff now, and it's all great and everything. But, you know, try to find a lane where you could really get walking and really change something and do a lot over a long period of time, you know.
I think that a lot of that, I don't know if you do it on purpose or not, but it shows in the Mindforce lyrics. Like you gotta mind, use it. And it's like unconventional stuff, talking about like almost like a higher purpose, like, you know, there's like it's the future of and all this shit. Yeah. It's like there's something more behind that. It's not just some lyrics you can mosh to. You're like giving out a real message.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And
I thought, sorry to interrupt you, but I thought that was like the sickest thing the first time I checked out your band, and you got a mind, use it. That was like my favorite thing, because I'm heavy into Eastern philosophy, like meditation, get into like elevate yourself spiritually, getting away from like violence and negativity and all that. So when you said like you got to mind use it, I was like, yes, that's perfect.
Hell yeah, man. I feel that. Thank you.
Also, like the direction that society's going, we got all this technology, we got everything at the tip of our fingers, and you're saying like we learned to unlock our minds and just abused it. Yeah, that to me was like, that was perfect, bro.
It's all, you know, it's all history shit, man. Like looking at society over time, and
but it repeats itself, man. You could relate that to everything going on nowadays.
Sure does.
If more now than, you know, before, like, it's crazy, man.
I mean, I think a lot of the Mindforce stuff is inspired from what I do with teaching history, but also a lot of the shit I've been through at my job, whether it's, you know, fucked up union shit, or even like some of my most personal stuff is about you know, some of my kids I got really close with getting killed and shit, you know. So like that, like there's some stuff on Excalibur about that and shit. So I take a lot from what I do, because I'm there every day with those kids every day. I just, you know, I just don't really wear it on my sleeve on the internet and shit.
100%. I understand it. That's awesome, bro. I feel like not a lot of people know that about you, that that's a whole different side.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, I mean, like I said, I don't wear it on my sleeve that much, just because I do have kind of a crazy past, you know, and, you know, I just, you know, I respect my kids and shit too, you know.
Yeah. Especially being like a teacher, you have, you know, like we were saying about giving back and stuff, and throughout a person's life, you might give back to maybe a handful of people the most, like genuinely, you know. But like being a teacher, I feel you have such a number of students that you can affect their lives with, you know, and they always cycle maybe year in, year out. So like, dude, it's amazing. You're like doing more than like 10 people combined, you know.
Ah, thank you, man. I mean, it's, you know, I just love the kids. I love my city. Blah blah. You know.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
Bro. You got the lyric. They just want war. And
Yeah.
then also, you was talking about in a different interview the song "Storm About to Burst." How it's about. You said it's an explosion at the end of a long fuse and the reckoning that comes after.
Yeah, I mean, that was I wrote that about somebody in my life who I just like was trying to be patient with for years and years, and you know, just try to give somebody chances over and over again. And I think, you know, the patient, slow storm can be the heaviest one sometimes. And it was just a moment. It was just like I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but it was just like that moment right before the storm is about to burst. If somebody's ever infuriated you,
Yeah, of course.
you know what I mean. You can feel that moment. So yeah, that's cool. That stuck out to you, man. That's cool. Yeah.
I thought, you know what I thought it was about? I thought it was like all this. Well, we just had John Joseph on the show, and he was talking about, you know, he's into like Hare Krishna consciousness and all that.
Hell yeah.
And in that, they talk about the Kali Yuga, which is like the era where everything's all messed up.
Yeah.
And everything's just like, everybody's confused, whether they know it or not. Like, they think that what they have their lives centered upon is what it should be, but really they're just like almost blinded and all that stuff. So I kind of thought it was about that. Like, there's been a long fuse of.
Well, it is too. You know what I mean? It's
up.
about all that. It's. I mean, that was the moment the personal moment that inspired it, but that's kind of why the way I wrote it the way I did, because it's just about that moment, whether it's a person or a place or a time.
It reminds me of like the George Floyd stuff. It's like, because every day there's police brutality and abuse. Yeah. And it's just like every day a little bit, until finally the storm's about to burst. That thing happens, pop.
Fuck yeah.
Everybody takes it to the streets and it gets crazy.
Absolutely.
So it's been building up in these people, and finally they have an outlet, you know, to like really speak their voice.
Enough is enough. We're destroying everything. I'm all about it. Let's go.
What did you think about when that was going down?
Like some of the,
especially as someone who wrote like they just want war.
It's like some of the more violent stuff, and you know.
Yeah, I mean like
the burning of the police station and shit.
Yeah, I mean they burned the police station. They also destroyed, you know, from big business to small business, like everything. Like,
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it made sense to me. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it made sense to me that it happened.
Yeah, of course.
I can't believe it hasn't happened already.
Yeah.
It all kind of made sense to me, and you know, at the end of the day, you know, that police station will be replaced, and those human lives won't be, man. So, I mean, if I'm being honest, I love this shit. When I saw that police station burning, I loved it. I can't help it. I loved it. You know, it was I couldn't believe that in my lifetime I watched on TV a police station get surrounded, captured, and destroyed. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah. The way I see it is like in a society or in a world that values like material objects and like money more than human lives, it only makes sense that when you start fucking with human lives, they go after what big corporations value the most, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think it's to a point where people aren't even thinking about it that much. You know what I mean? I think people are just
acting.
Enough is enough after so long, and just since the beginning of this country, you know, it's just the same bullshit.
Yeah, and every week it's something, if not every day.
You know, I mean,
and that's the stuff that's
every single day. I mean, I can tell you, when I'm with my students, it's every day for them. You know, it's not every day for me as a white man, but it's every day for them. It's literally almost every other moment when they're stepping outside, and it just disgusts me. And when I see things like that, it's hard for me not to see it as a reckoning.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? A reckoning for. You know.
Yeah, so many atrocities that have gone down. It reminds me a lot of in like Batman Begins, and then they're like saying that like the city just got to be destroyed because it's just too much corruption to be. It's like beyond saving, so they try to get their little crew together.
That's the one with the scarecrow, right? Scarecrows and that.
They're all
joint?
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some wild stuff, man. It's crazy. It's going down in our lifetime, and it makes me think, why is it in America that this is happening, but definitely less in other countries? America is like the center of this insanity. Why do you think that?
Man, that's a good question, Angel. America, the United States it's kind of its own beast when you look at its history and how it was formed, and there are things that you can compare to it, but only so much, I don't know, I kind of like to, I don't know, I'm not sure why. Maybe that has something to do with it, but I know the type of diversity we have here, all living on top of each other. I haven't traveled the world much. I was gonna, but COVID stopped that. But I would think that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah. It's easy to be. Of course, there's gonna be problems because there's so much diversity. People from different, even just not from a racial perspective. There's just people from different walks of life, different cultures, different parts of the planet, all in one place. They're just gonna think differently, naturally. Even if you're not talking about race or color of skin or anything like that. Yeah. It's almost like expected, you know what I mean? But I wanted to talk about.
Real quick, I just want to ask: are you from Queens, Angel?
So I was born in Jackson Heights.
Oh shit!
Sorry, no, I was born in Manhattan. I lived in Jackson Heights until I was like 9, 10. Then I moved to Massachusetts. I actually got into hardcore in Massachusetts, and I would go to Anchors Up like every weekend.
Oh no shit! Okay. Dope spot.
Yeah, 100%. And that's where I really got into hardcore. And I grew up skateboarding, so and like writing and stuff. So obviously New York for that was like the mecca. Every month I'd come back. This is whatever, but yeah, I would come back every month, bring mad friends here, and then when I turned 19, I moved back here, and I'm 24 now. So I moved back here, and when I moved back, since I was coming all the time, I already had like friends who skated and wrote and all that, so it was cool.
Word. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And then,
I'm just I was born in Brooklyn by like Coney Island, like South Brooklyn, and pretty much been there ever since, man.
Cool, man. Well, sorry to cut you off. I was just curious because I've been seeing you guys for a minute. You know what I mean?
All good.
So yeah.
Yeah, actually, like one of my first. So I went to a New York hardcore show when I was younger at the Ethical Humanist Society. I took the train. I took the bus from Mass to the train on the Long Island Railroad and all that with two of my friends who were also from Mass. And the show was, I think it was it Brace War? I don't know if Brace War was on it, but I know Naysayer, I know Backtrack, Rude Awakening, and Trapped Under Ice were all on that show.
Damn, that's
King 9.
Damn, okay.
King 9, I think, might have been the opener.
What a show.
And it was at the Ethical Human Society. I remember showing up, and I'm like, is there going to be a show here? Because I showed up super early, like hours before. Like, if the show opened at 6, doors at 6, I showed up at like 2.
Yo, I used to.
So like I showed up at 2 because I didn't know if I was gonna miss the bus and stuff, and it was just straight suburbs. And I'm like, bro, is this show really gonna go down right here? And I had never been to a New York show before, and I had never heard of King 9 before.
Yeah.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, it was one of their first shows, for real.
I think I remember that. I think I remember that show happening.
Yeah. So I remember I walked in, and I'm like, well, it's the opening band. It's probably not gonna be like too crazy. It was insane. And then Freaky Franz was there.
Hell yeah.
Pitting crazy. I think that's the only time in person I've ever seen him pit. He was like pitting crazy. Everyone was pitting crazy.
Oh no, he's ill. Yeah,
He's
got crazy style too. Yeah.
But talking about that, so I was reading up on some of your interviews, and you're talking about how one of the Mindforce covers, it's influenced by this one dude. He's like he like draws and stuff too. I forget his name. I have it written, but I don't feel like looking at it right now.
No,
but
it's cool. Yeah.
He wrote like the Lady of Labor.
Oh yeah,
and the
yeah.
whole like
yeah.
anarchy stuff. You used to be or are really into anarchy.
Yeah, I went through. I've done a bunch of reading on anarchism, and especially like when I first went back to school, I found myself stumbling onto some anarchy shit and some political classes and shit like that, and it really fascinated me, especially its connections with the labor movement and unionism, being a union member myself, and also too like I really feel like in the late 2000s and earlier part of this decade, there was just like a lot of anti-union shit, like just a lot of heavy stuff, and I just wanted to kind of give a nod to it in the cover, and that's the future of 7-inch.
Speaking of covers, bro.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Pillars of Ivory stuff.
Oh, cool, man.
Yo, that cover, I honestly, like, real talk, I usually don't, I look at covers and I'm like, yeah, like, I'm trying to listen to music. Yeah. I don't really pay attention to the cover art. That was probably one of the first times that I've looked at cover art and been like, whoa, like, I want this on my wall.
Yo, thank you, man.
First of all, who did that?
Yo,
let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, so shout out to Caleb. That's this young dude from Wilkes-Barre who is a friend of mine. He plays guitar in Choice to Make.
Okay.
And I think sometimes he might play with One Step Closer. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. But he does ill stuff. He did some Mindforce stuff, too. He did that Last Nightmare shit we put out. He does ill shit, man.
So I'm looking at it right here. It's a dude with a polo hoodie on. He has the chain with the pendant.
Yeah, so real quick, most of those little things, Aaron said to put in to Caleb.
From Death Threat.
Yeah. Who's the other singer?
Bands.
Me too, man.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be J Mindforce without Death Threat.
We went to a show last year, man. That was amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
you guys were on it. It was Death Threat, Mindforce, The Answer. Shout out to Daniel.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the dudes from that band and a lot of the people that rolled with them were real cool to me at a young age.
That's awesome. They're from Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I know that was your first show was like in Connecticut.
Yeah, right? My first show ever, because the Hudson Valley, like, it's as close to Connecticut as it is here. You know what I mean? So my first show, I remember like it was yesterday, man. I was in New Milford at the New Milford teen scene. Shout out to Crew Milford and Pale Horse. They went around then.
Pale Horse was big in Mass too.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Anchors Up. My old band played there.
Living Laser?
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
You remember that? Were you around when that label FDR was around?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that label,
Records.
Man. Yeah.
On my computer, I got
Rip
one of their
Tony.
stickers.
Yeah. Shout out Tony. Rest in peace. Love him.
100%. They had some really good bands. Are they still? Do they still do stuff, right?
No, not really. They kind of slowed down.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were you saying? You were like first show.
Oh shit! Yeah, I trailed off.
It's all good.
What was I saying?
You were like first show was in New Bedford.
Oh no, New Milford.
New Milford.
Yeah, New Milford, Connecticut, at the New Milford Teen Center. I remember I had been hearing about this thing called hardcore, and like, a lot of people get into hardcore from punk and metal, but I was like a rap hip hop dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that shit, and but like I got into it in the early '90s. You know, it had, I think, the hip hop from the early '90s and mid '90s is like a little more aggressive and dangerous in its delivery, kind of like hardcore.
100%. It's like sharp.
Yeah.
Sometimes they say something and you feel like a precision to it.
Yeah, I think that's the connection I made at the time. I had gotten into skating.
Okay.
You know, and I was starting to like get into skate videos, and they were playing like some metal shit I liked too. Because like I said, what I loved about the hip hop I loved was the aggression and the delivery, you know, and the danger and the sound. You know, it sounded dangerous. You know what I mean? Like, and somebody's like, "Yo, you like both that shit? You know, check out this band, Rage Against the Machine." And I got heavy into them at the time, and then another homie was like, "Yo, if you like that, this dude sings in this band called Inside Out. This shit is called hardcore." And it was just something about the name. I don't know. I just got interested. And then like a couple months later, a bunch of my homies came into school that morning. We'd always meet up by the lockers like we would and figure out where we were gonna smoke weed and shit for the day. And they were like, "Yo, we went to this place called the Boardwalk."
Okay.
Which I think is in Brewster, New York. You know where that is?
No.
It's like upstate. It's in the Hudson Valley, but I remember some of the bands. I feel like every band they named began with a D. Okay. Dissolve, Dismay, Drowning Room. I don't know why. And they were like, it was crazy. You know, the way they described it to me is nothing like hardcore is, but they were like, all you heard is like this 4 count, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then everybody started beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know why it just attracted me, and I was like, yo, when you go again, I want to go to one of these, you know. And there was also like, I haven't this hasn't come up with anybody my age, but I saw a clip about straight edge on an MTV News thing. It was like a 5-minute. I don't remember what it was or why it was there, but it was on something with MTV. I want to say MTV News, but I'm not sure. It could have been anything.
Okay.
And I'm not straight edge, and I've never had an interest in being straight edge, but they did show the moshing.
Yep.
And you know, I was like, yo, this shit is fly. I was like, like I was like, they looked ill. They were doing like karate kicks, but looked dope doing it.
Yeah.
And you know, then these dudes were like, yo, we're gonna go to a show, but it's in Connecticut, not New York this time. And I was like, all right, I'll go. And I saw it was Sub-Zero from New York headlined, and it was this other band from the Hudson Valley played called Drowning Room. Another band called Sum of All Fears played, which is one of my favorite Connecticut hardcore bands. And I'm not really sure who else played, but I mean, like, that was it for me. Like, it was like I walked through a threshold when I went to that show, and there was like a new Jay. It was the same Jay, but a new Jay. You know what I mean? And I just remember the dancing. I didn't mosh, but I wanted to. What I loved about the dancing was like, I think it might have been a little more then than it is now, but like everybody on the dance floor had their own style. Yeah. And it like, all I could think about was skating. Like, that's what I loved about skating. Like, 4 people do the same trick, but you know, it looks different every time. Yeah. You know, which one has the best style, and that's what I loved about it too. And I can't lie, I also really liked about it that like dudes just didn't have a bunch of long hair and like black shirts on. Like that's one of the things that bothered me about metal is like I felt the aggression, but like, you know, growing my hair long, that just wasn't me. Yeah. You know, so I mean everything about it I loved, and yeah.
When was Mindforce it was Living Laser. Was that your first band?
Oh no, I've been playing in bands forever. My first band was this band called Elevate.
Okay.
Yeah, real heavy thug shit.
You were always doing the vocals and stuff?
No, I didn't start singing until I was in Living Laser in my 20s.
Sick.
Yeah. I'm a drummer. That's my thing, man.
Oh, really?
I love drumming. Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. And with the whole COVID thing, it's been crazy. No shows.
Yeah, I mean, sucks.
Yeah.
You know, but
I was listening to your band today. I was watching live shows, and I'm like, yo, I can't wait to go to a show again.
I know, man. I try not to think about it. I try not to open that door in my brain because it just is what it is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's everybody. You know, more for artistic. I mean, not just artistic reasons, for health reasons too. Like, I'm the kind of guy like I need to get that shit out. You know what I mean? Like
the energy.
You know, yeah, I can get real like angry and anxiety ridden.
Can't imagine, I've never done vocals for a band, but just
you
the
should.
feeling that you get out of it is probably amazing.
One of my old heads told me many years ago, and it's a rule I live by: great moshers are great frontmen.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so you should do it. Don't forget that, man.
Yeah. To be honest, I've always wanted to. There used to be this band in, a few of them. This dude's this band called Bastard Swine, out of Anchors Up, and he would do the vocals, drop the mic during the pitting part, get off the stage and just start wrecking, just start catching wreck. It was like, I remember seeing it when I was little and just was like, that's like the greatest thing I've ever seen. Then you just get back on the mic and just boss it out. It's so good.
I wish I did it earlier because I always, like you, I always wanted to do it. Yeah. Then when I finally did it, I was like, oh, I love this shit.
Yo, let's do it, bro.
You know?
So. I got a name already, by the way.
That's important, man.
I
think I fucked up a lot of bands by naming them dumb shit.
I'm gonna be real. It's gonna sound stupid, but I've had this in my mind since I was a little kid. Because I grew up. My dad, when I was little, he made me do like kung fu when I was like
sick.
When I was like 5 years old.
Amazing.
I got like pictures of me. I'll show you one right now. Actually, it was we lived here. Actually, we lived in Flushing. Or Queens, so my dad's super into like Asian Chinese philosophy. He does like acupuncture and all this stuff.
Dude, I kind of want to get into that for my back.
Yo,
I gotta hit up. It's just like everything. Like if you make food, if the guy who makes you food sucks at cooking, it's gonna suck.
That's everything.
So you gotta get the good person who really knows their stuff, right? But I'll try to put you on. I'll try to find someone who knows their stuff.
I talked to some people who like it's been so inflamed the past few years that they were like, yo, it could miss. Like one person went and it made it worse. Yeah, because it's all nerve shit.
Yep.
And it's nerve pain. Yeah. But I want to try it, man.
You should.
I do physical therapy and chiropractic. I go to the chiropractor every week.
So that's me with like this Buddhist monk.
That's ill.
He does. That's in a temple it was actually in Flushing, close to here. They closed down. They moved somewhere else. But it was a bunch of Buddhist monks who came here from China to spread Buddhism via their martial arts. And like I was growing up around that a lot. So what was I going with this? Oh yeah. So I'd watch these kung fu movies all the time, like tons of them. And in this one of them, it's pretty famous. It's called The Iron Monkey. And,
I love it. I know it.
Yeah. So you know how
that's Shaw Brothers? Shaw
yeah,
Brothers,
I think so. I don't remember. Yeah. But the dude, one of the monks, he has what's called it's either called Buddhist palm or a wonder palm. Like it's their technique. So like they slap something with it. Like they practice it on like a cow or whatever. Like you slap a cow. The cow's fine on the outside, and on the inside, like 3 days later, it dies because like its organ exploded.
That's ill.
So I was always like, yo, if I ever start a hardcore band, it's gonna be called Wonder Palm.
I like it. It's a deep cut too. Yeah. I think it's great.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not like a regular hardcore band name. Like it could
I
be
love
whatever.
it. Wonder Palm.
Yeah. So if we start a band, it's gonna be called Wonder Palm. I gotta be vocals though. I'm trying to do vocals.
Yeah, let's do a WP crew.
But yeah, bro, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so talking about Pillars of Ivory.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at the cover right now. It's the polo hoodie, the chain, the dude's hand with the knuckle tat SDS. He has a blunt.
Shout out to SDS crew.
Marijuana leaf in the back.
Fucking pillars breaking in the city in the background.
A thunderbolt hitting the pillar and it's cracking.
That's wild.
There's like the pillars of justice getting broken.
Everything's like burning in the background.
And then there's like the city line. Yeah. That is amazing, yo. Who made this?
This dude Caleb, like I said, he plays guitar in Choice to Make. He's from Wilkes-Barre, PA. Everybody should get at him to do art. He does some Mindforce shit too. He did the Last Nightmare shirt. I mean, he's just got a great eye, you know, and he's great to work with. Like I said, there were some things that Aaron was like, yo, put this in, and he found a way to do it all. He's doing. We just finished the music for the next one. He's doing the cover art now.
Sick.
Yeah, I think he's gonna that one's like outside the city. I think this one's gonna kind of be like inside the city.
So for the Pillars of Ivory, is it you and him on the mic?
Me and Aaron together.
You and Aaron both on the mic?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm not even saying this just because you're here. That's like my two favorite vocalists. You and Aaron from
Aaron is one of mine too. Like I can't believe I'm in a band with him. You know, like I think we got the idea to do it like a year ago. And I was like, yo, I want to do some hip hop hardcore shit, but I want to do it like different than someone's done it before. I want to do like heavy hip hop and like only have hardcore songs pop up here and there. And Aaron was like, yo, definitely, I'm in. We can both sing. And Aaron was like, yo, let's make it like, let's make the hardcore songs like really short and fast. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And it just kind of went to the wayside, you know, me and Aaron hanging out, doing different shit. And then it came up again not too long ago, and we kind of changed the idea. We were like, yo, let's go a little more like New York City post-hardcore, you know, like Crown of Thorns, Burn, Super Touch, some other shit. And we did it, man. It's been so much fun. We do it with another dude from this band, Age of Apocalypse, from the Hudson Valley. Okay. And he played guitar and drums. He played all the instruments on it. So
bro, it's so good. I love it. I was listening to it earlier. I got it right here. Got the.
Thank you, man. Oh shit.
You got all the.
Yeah. Little fat show. When I
first listened to it, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like 10 seconds of a hip hop intro. Before I know it, it's like going deep, and I'm like, oh, sick. I was gonna ask you. So you make beats, right?
Yeah, I did all the beats.
I figured.
I mean, originally, like this was kind of like an excuse to find an avenue to get that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, not anymore. I love every aspect of it. But yeah, I'm like, just as much as I have my right foot's in the hardcore scene, my left foot's in the underground hip hop scene.
Bro.
Yeah.
You just reminded me. Have you ever? I mean, of course, you listen to Product of Waste.
Yeah.
You listen to his rap stuff?
Yo.
No, I never heard his rap shit. Yeah,
Yo,
send it to me after this.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
some
let me
songs,
listen to it on the way home.
Amazing.
Bro,
You're going to love it.
Yeah, the lyrics
especially
are
because you like
insane.
the 90s hip-hop stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to listen to it and be like, wow, this dude should have been famous for this. He should
No,
have blown up.
I didn't know, yeah.
10
I
out of
didn't
10. And it reminded me of him because he was super in the hip-hop and also hardcore. The first time I saw Product of Waste, it was at Anchors Up. And I was like dying to see them. I had been listening. My friend put me on, and I was listening to them for like.
Yeah, they were on FDR, right?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I'm a huge Colin of Arabia fan. So I remember when
amazing individual,
they did like
amazing.
COA and then POW, Product of Waste, Casualties of America, whatever.
Dope.
I was like, yo, what is this band? So I checked out the Product of Waste. I remember I was on MySpace or Facebook, whatever, and Terry, Product of Waste, he put on his thing. He was like, I'm heading, who can give me a ride to Anchors Up? And he's supposed to be playing in like an hour. I'm like,
Oh,
what?
shit.
And then he showed up. It was honestly the most like punk DIY thing I've ever seen. He showed up, dressed crazy. None of his band was there. He just had the mic on him. And then he's like, who knows how to play our stuff? And then people knew.
Damn,
so
that's
he got
wild.
a drummer, a bassist, a guitarist, and him on vocals all right there. And they
That's
played
wild, man.
It's on video. They played a
Wow.
full set with other people playing the things. And then it was like people from the crowd just came up.
Damn, I could never do that, man.
And then
I don't trust anybody playing
for
shit.
one of the for
I
one
don't
of the
trust
songs,
the people in my band. No, I'm just kidding.
for one of the songs, they didn't know like the drummer didn't know it. So he's like, all right, I know it. So he flipped to the drums. Some kid did vocals the whole. It was crazy.
That's wild.
It was wild.
Yeah.
It was
Damn.
wild. At the time, I was kind of upset because I'm like, damn, I wanted to see like. But now looking back on it, I'm like, that was actually like a really cool experience to witness.
That's something I've never seen at a show.
Yeah,
You know?
me neither. Yo, what's up with the polo?
Oh, I mean, that's a long.
Every time I see you, you got the fresh polo on.
Yeah,
I wore this just for you.
I love it. I love it. Looking
haven't
good.
worn this in, like-
looking sharp.
I haven't
Looking
worn this
fly.
in like probably
Um,
6 years.
No, I first like started like getting into polo and Tommy shit, like just listening to hip hop. You know, I mean, I remember seeing Raekwon wear the Snow Beach in the Can of B video and like being in my fucking small ass basement, like, yo, what the fuck is that? You know, and then just always like, and then no, actually, then dude, a friend of mine who used to sing in a band I was in, put me on, like showed me like the low lifes and low life culture, and he showed me like this video, Bury Me in the Low and shit, and just how like it was a whole culture and shit like that in high school, and I started really getting into that. And then
Were people where you were from into that, or
what's up?
were people where you were living at the time into that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then I met I got into hardcore, and I got into this band, this old Hudson Valley band called End of One.
Okay.
And I started hanging out with them and their whole crew, and they were like going on missions, like they were like stealing polo and Tommy shit every weekend, sometimes flipping it for money, sometimes not. And I would, you know, like my homie, one of my best friends who's not with us anymore, rest in peace, Bones. I mean, this guy, he could. I can't explain to you the type of polo and Tommy shit he would steal. He was amazing. I mean, I don't know. It's probably been long enough I could say this. I seen the dude steal a fucking guitar out of a music store before. Crazy shit. So I started getting into it then, but you know, at the time we never had any money, and you know, we also, you know, needed weed and shit, and so we were selling a lot of it. But you know, my friends were wearing a lot of it. Like if you go back and find any End of One videos, Beetle and all those guys are covered in polo and Tommy and
That's
shit.
so fresh. Yeah.
But you know, then once I started, you know, getting a job and making money, I was like, damn, I've been waiting a long time buying all the polo I want now. So, you know, these days I buy the shit, you know, live a different type of life. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it, through hip hop. And then, like I said, the when I got into hardcore, the guys I looked up to, the guys I wanted to be like, were playing hardcore, but they were looking like they should be at a rap show. You know what I mean? So
I remember every time I go to a Mindforce show, before I show up, I'm like, what's he gonna wear this time?
that's good. Damn, I gotta start wearing some different type of shit. I don't know.
And then like we were just watching one of the videos, and I was telling him, I'm like, bro, it was mad hot in there. You got the zip up,
the bubble coat.
You got the bubble coat.
Yeah, I heard a few people tell me, I don't know what it was. I remember that night. This happens to me a lot, I don't know why. I'll like walk out on stage in a t-shirt and get fucking mad cold all of a sudden.
It was freezing outside that day.
I don't know if it's because I get nervous. You know, I still get kind of nervous and shit, but. Or like sometimes there'll be like one random AC for the whole club blowing on the stage. I was like, damn, I'm cold. You know, I'm mad skinny too, man. So I put the shit on.
What was like, you got any? Oh yeah, so you make the hip hop beats. You're into polo and all that. And then like you do the Mindforce thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you do that people don't, aside from the teaching, that the people don't know about?
Well, I mean, I also play in this band Out for Justice that everybody should check out if they haven't heard. It's kind of like it's just a bunch of friends.
In like your town?
No, just everybody from all over the Northeast and hardcore. Like we got like 15 members. We put out some shit. You can find it on Spotify. So I do that as a third band. But I love dogs.
Okay.
I love my dogs. You know, I'm really into raising my dog and training my dog.
That's amazing.
And I just love family, man. You know, I love family. I love soccer. I love footy. I'm from an Italian American family, and growing up, it was a big deal, and I still love it. Matter of fact, I just I got injured really bad, like early 2018. And I haven't been able to kick the ball around. I just started kicking it around again, and I feel good. I'm not hurting after and stuff. And I really enjoy it because I got a new puppy, and she loves playing soccer. You know, she gets real into it.
That's funny because soccer is like one of those things. Like growing up, I was really into that. I was in this team called Brooklyn Italians, and down over there by Coney Island. Yeah, and
shout out Brooklyn Italians.
But like I haven't played soccer in like 10 years. But every time the ball comes, like somehow I end up playing, like fucking around. I was like really into it, because it reminds me of like playing it as a kid. But like it's just
absolutely,
sick,
man. I mean, growing up, even I was born in 1980, so I was a kid in the 80s, but. In the 80s and even into the 90s, like when you couldn't find the games anywhere to watch or anything, my family, when it was World Cup or European Championships, they always found a way to watch the Azzurri. They always found a way, and
it's like a not universal. It's a global sport.
Oh, absolutely, and
unifies people.
Yeah, it's a cultural. It's a cultural thing, and I'm really in touch with that and my Italian heritage.
That's what's up, bro. That's awesome. When did Mindforce start becoming big?
Damn, that's such a weird question, man, because I live inside my own bubble. But I'm not sure. I don't know. I think I couldn't tell you, man.
Was there ever like a shocking moment where you went and you're like, whoa, random people know like all the lyrics?
If
like,
I'm
people
being
are going
real
crazy.
with you, I mean, this may sound a little corny, but it was like that for me from the start. Like no other band I started where it was just like this band started and like from our first show to the last, it was wild. And I still think that, dude. I still think that, man. I still get out there and like when every time I see somebody new singing the lyrics, it fucking spins my mind around, man. I can't, it's wild. I can't believe it because I really am just some douchebag from a hick-ass town. You know what I mean? So the fact that anybody's giving me a chance is amazing. And, I've been playing in bands for a long time that nobody gave a shit about. So I still catching myself like, whoa, damn, this is crazy. So it's really humbling and I'm really thankful.
Yeah, because you guys have a very, very unique sound.
Thank you,
Your vocals
man.
are very unique. Also, the solos and all the guitar stuff. It's honestly amazing. Daniel was talking to me about how like he's certain
From The Answer?
Yeah.
That was like my favorite demo that year.
Yeah?
Last was it
sick.
Last year, 2019 that came out?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 2019.
Love that demo. He's an ill guitar player too.
He's also really good at pitting.
Yeah, he's dope.
100%.
He's dope. Yeah.
We always talk about how he has like no self-preservation.
He's
skills
one of the
when he's
finest around right now. Definitely
goes
one of the
nuts.
finest. Yeah, I love him.
I
Shout
went
out
to
Daniel.
I went to the America's Hardcore Fest, like the Triple B thing, with him last year, and he's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna mosh like this band because like this kind of hurts or whatever. And then literally I'm like, all right, well the band like wasn't really my thing, so I was chilling. Yeah. And then like I look up and he's fucking annihilating people.
Yo, that's because yo, real moshers, they can never stop.
He gets like possessed.
I stopped, like, dude, I can remember a time in like moshing really took me into hardcore. Almost, and you know, maybe this is fucked up, almost a little more than the music at first. Like I loved the music, but the moshing.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved like I just lived to mosh. And I found like even into my 30s I was still moshing here or there, like and then you know, my body slowly fell apart.
I love the style people like we were talking about earlier. They got their own style.
Oh hell yeah.
Finessing moves, it just, and when people come up with new moves, there was this thing, there was like a crew of people at Anchors Up who were doing this thing. So you know when you're like, you know, it's like you're a jerk, and they're doing the jerk.
Okay.
And then like they do it, and then they spin to the floor, and they like kind of touch the floor.
Whoa.
So they were taking that from like the jerk and doing it in their like while they were two-stepping.
Damn, that's
so they'd be
crazy.
two-stepping, and then they'd spin and like knees and like hands touch the floor. And I saw like some kid do it. I was like, well, that was like the freshest thing I've ever seen. But it didn't look corny. Like it looked really good. I was like, what? That was crazy.
My homie had a move he used to do back in the day. Shit, what did he call it? The dead body or something, where he would, I'm not going to name any names, where he would like mosh into the crowd and then like fall asleep. Oh, he would call it the sleeper. He would like fall asleep and just lay on people, and people like, yo, you okay? And then he would like just wake up out of nowhere like, bah! And scare him and start moshing again. It's kind of weird, but I don't know who it was. Might have been somebody I know well. I don't know.
No, but what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I was saying about Daniel.
I keep cutting you off.
Oh, yeah,
man.
he was saying that he thinks that Mindforce is going to be like an all-time legendary band. Like it's going to go down in history.
To me. I mean, that's crazy. That's wild for me to think.
So it's going to go down in history as like some like iconic stuff.
I mean, it leaves me speechless, man. Especially coming from him, who I respect so much. You know, I mean,
he wanted to be here.
I hope so.
He wanted to come and chill and talk, but yeah, I told him. I didn't tell him until this morning. I FaceTimed him in the morning and then stuff like that. But yeah, bro, his band is
somebody
good.
I'd love to do a band with. Daniel, if you're out there, if you're hearing this, let's do a band one day. I want to be on drums though. You on the guitar doing let's start a math rock band.
He's a musician.
Yeah.
He's really good at guitar. He's amazing at guitar.
Yeah, you could tell.
100%. Yeah, bro. I don't know if you got any. I got any. I'm done with my questions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. You know, there's only so much.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not the most interesting man. You know.
Nah, bro.
No,
this
that
talk
was
was great, man. For sure.
Thank you so much for coming, man.
No, thank you for having me, guys.
Seriously.
I like the podcast
Dude,
a lot.
Sure. Every guest we have is a unique individual, and like, bro, it just gets better and better, man.
Yeah,
like, really
this was
respect
amazing.
it.
I really enjoyed this. Yeah, I hope to see Mindforce sometime soon, man.
Dude.
Yeah, who knows, man? I mean, who knows what we're in store for? I mean,
yeah, we really don't know. It could be.
I think it's gonna be a little more time than people think.
Yeah.
I hope not, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely not trying to run and do a show soon.
Yeah.
Me personally, I mean, shit. This shit's scary to me, man. I've been smoking blunts for 20 years. I don't got good lungs, you know what I mean? But yeah. Yo, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Shout out Triple B. Shout out Days. Shout out Streets of Hate. Shout out everybody in Mindforce, Out for Justice, and Pillars of Ivory, and Death Rap, and Age of Apocalypse.
Word.
Bro, shout out to you, man. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.
Peace.